Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem love rescue. So you can read the entire problem. I'll just summarize this problem so that it is easy to understand. And let's discuss the approach as well along with the implementation. So what the problem states? So Valya and Tolya have mismatching letterings on their pullover and t-shirt. So they have mismatching letters on their pullover and t-shirt respectively. So Tolya's grandmother wants to make the letterings identical by casting spells. By casting spells, Tolya's grandmother. So yeah. Tolya's grandmother wants to make the letters identical on the t-shirt and the pullover of Valya and Tolya by casting the spells, each of which can swap only 2 characters at a time. Each of which can this one swap only 2 characters. This one you have to keep in mind. Each of which can swap 2 characters. Our main goal is to find the minimum number of spells that is required to make both strings the same and output those spells. We have to make both strings same, right? And we have to group it. So we have to mainly we have to find the minimum number of spells that is required to make both strings the same, and we have to output those spells. So I hope the problem statement is clear. So I'll just remove this one. Let's discuss the approach. So as usual, first step will be going with the input reading. So we'll be going with the input reading or the input handling as usual. So you'll be knowing this one while we write the code. So if you have followed till now, input reading is same for input handling or input reading is same for most of the problems, right? So first step is this one. And second step after the input handling or the input reading. So let's go with the input parsing. So let's read the 2 strings which are letterings of the pullover and the t-shirt and their length. This comes under the input reading itself. So we will read the 2 strings which are letterings of pullover and the t-shirt and their lengths. So that's what we'll be doing here in this first step. In the second step, we'll be going either with you can call this one as approach, union find, or the disjoint set. The approach that we are going here is with the union find or the disjoint set. So we'll be going with union find or the disjoint set. Why? We will make use of the union find to group the characters that should be transformed to each other. So suppose when we find the distinct characters, right, A and B. So we have to cast the spell and make this one AA. Nothing but we have to equivalent character. We have to convert the 2 equivalent character, right? How many such spells are required to calculate from A comma B, and we have to make that one AA. So how many spells is required for that? That only we have to calculate the minimum number of spells that is required to calculate from A comma B to A comma A. This is just the example I gave. So that is what we need to calculate. Each character belongs to one of the 26 groups. We know that for the 26 lowercase English letters. So each character, it belongs to one of these characters, A to Z. That is in small lowercase letters. That's what will be. So you just keep in mind this one. I will be going with the approach, union find, nothing but the disjoint set. Also each character will be in the lower case and it has to be within A to Z, small a to small z. So after this, in the second step, we are going with the union find or disjoint set. So the third step will be, we will be spell calculation. Nothing but for each character in the strings, if their group or the root differs, we will be uniting them by adding a spell to transform one letter into another. That's what we discussed, right? How to transform. So this will be spell calculation in the third step. After, we'll go with the union find or the disjoint set in the second step. The third step will be spell calculation. After the spell calculation, the fourth step will be, we will output the result. Nothing but we will print the total number of spells and list the spells that is used. Outputting the result is nothing but we'll get the output here after the spell calculation. We have to output the result. Nothing but total number of spells and list of the spells that is required. In simple terms, we'll be making use of console log. As we are going with the JavaScript or Node, we have to print the result. We'll be making use of console log and printing the total number of spells, right? And also the list of spells that is used. So this is the main approach that we will be going with. So for this particular problem, so I'll just delete this one. Let's start writing the code so that you'll get to know this one better. So what we will do, let me come here. Initially, let's start importing the file system module. We have to read the input, right? For that purpose, we'll start importing the file system module from the standard input. So let me type this one fast. Let fs equals, let's make use of require of fs. This is one thing. Also, next step is we'll read the input and we will split it by new lines. Also, we will trim if we have any excess spaces. So let me write this one. You'll get to know. Let input equals fs dot read file sync start from 0, and we will set the encoding to UTF-8. So this is one thing. Also, we'll make use of the trim to remove the white spaces or the spaces. Also, let's split. We have to read the individual line, right? Individual line of the input. So I'll just make use of /n over here. So this is simple. Next, let's pass the first input line as the integer. So we are converting to integer. Let's pass the first input line as integer n, which is the length of, which is nothing but the length of the string. I'll just give n equals plus input first line, right? We'll go with the array of 0. So this is fine. Let's pass the second and third line, third input lines also as strings, converting them to array of characters. Here we are converting this one as the array of characters. So this will be s1 equals input of 1. Also, let's split this one. So this is one thing. Let s2 equals, this will be input of 2, along with, let's split this one, same thing, input of 1 and 2, nothing but second and third input, right? First input will be this one. These are second and third input. So this is fine. After this, we will initialize the array to act as the parent for each character, nothing from 0 to 25. So here, and let me just explain this for you in a simple step. So we will be converting each character from A to Z, whatever the character we had, a to small z, accordingly with the number. We'll start from 0 to 25. If we would have started from 1, it would have been 1 to 26. So we have 26 characters, right? A will be 0, B will be 1, C will be 2, like that. If we, for the particular character, we'll be converting this one to the number. That's what we will be doing next. So let me delete this one. So how can we write this one? We are just initializing, right? The array. So let parent equals, so here array of 26, array of size 26. So we will fill this one initially with 0, and also let's map. And just let me consider this one underscore itself. It will be of no use, right? Also along with the index. So let's point this one to index with the arrow operator. So let's define the find function which returns the root of the set of a character belongs to. So let's consider the find function here. So I'll just give let find. We can write this one in single line, I think. So we can just write here, and so let's make use of the arrow operator. I can just give if it is parent of x. If it is, then we can give x. Then we can give x. If not, we can just give parent of X, we can just assign this one to, we have to find, right? So find, we can just give parent of X. So this is fine. Let's define the unite function as well to combine two sets. We have to combine the two sets, right? For that one, we'll be making use of the unite function, custom unite function. So into one, by updating the parent, we have to update, by updating the parent, we are defining the unite function to combine two sets, nothing but the characters. I can just give here, let unite equals a comma b parameters. I'll just take here, you can write in this way. This also I can just write in single line, I think. So parent within the array, find of a, this one will be find of b. So this is fine. Oh, I forgot to mention here this one. This is fine. After this step, after writing the unite function, we will initialize an empty array to store the spells. We have to store the spells somewhere, right? For that, I'll just make use of, I'll just initialize the spells to empty array. After initialization, we always go with the iteration, right? So in simple steps, we'll be going with the iteration. If I further want to explain, it is just the loop through each character in both the strings. Let's compare them. So I can just go with the for loop. I'll just write I equals 0, I less than n. Let's increment this one. This one is fine. Let's convert the character to their respective indices in the alphabet. So 0 for A, as I have mentioned there, is 0 for A, 1 for B, 2 for C, like finally 25 for Z in that case. So how can we write that? I can just take two variable names, and this one will be S1 of I. S1 we have already took this one, S1 of I. Let's make use of the char code built-in method. If you don't know, please Google it. It is very easy to understand. Char code of 0, it will be minus 97. Fair. Let me copy the same thing and make the necessary changes. So this will be, instead of C1, this will be C2. This will be S2 of I dot char coded. It will be 0 minus 97. This is fine, right? So if the two characters don't belong to the same set or the same group, then we will add a spell that transform C1 into C2 or vice versa, C2 into C1 to the spells array. So how can we write this? Nothing but, this is nothing but condition, right? If find of C1, if it is not equal to, right? Find of C2, this one will add a spell that transfers C1 and C2 or vice versa to the spells array. So we have to add, right? For adding, we'll make use of the push. But for this is in the format of string. So again, we can just make use of the char code. So I can write in this way. Just give me a second. Spells, we have to push, and let me make use of string, type string from char code C1 97, also string from char code. This will be C2 plus 97. So this is fine. Finally, after this step, we will be uniting the two sets so that future occurrences of those letters, these letters are treated the same. So this will be C1 and unite of C1 and C2. This is simple to understand. So after this step, we can just sort the spells alphabetically for consistent output, right? So this is optional. we can just sort or we can just leave. We are just sorting the spells alphabetically just for the consistent output. You can just display in the different way, but let's sort so that it will look correct. It will look good, basically. Spells dot sort. So this is fine. Then finally, we have to print the number of spells that is needed. Also, we have to print the each spell along with it, right? Number of spells also we need to print, and also we need to print the each cell, nothing but the pair of letters in the format AB. So for printing, I'll just make use of the console log. For printing the number of spells needed, we can just give, we already have the spells, we will just give the length of the spells. So we'll get the number of spells. So also we have to print the each cell, right? Nothing but the pair of letters in the format AB. So for that, I'll just make use of the for each. So for each, it will be helpful. Here, this will be A comma B. I can just give console log. I have to print this one, right? Console log of A comma B. So this is fine. So let me come here. Let me do one thing here. Here this has to be output 2AD and BA. So let me give the input here. May run. So unexpected token braces where here I forgot equals here, right? So let me run this one again. So 4 ABCD undefined. So the output I need to get is 2AD BA. So let's check. So here what I have missed is here within string, within the array we have to display this one, right? So I have missed the array here. So this is fine. Let me hit the run again. So now we are getting 2 A, D, B and A. So I had just missed this one array. So that's why we were getting the wrong output. So now we are getting the correct output 2 A, D, B and A. Nothing but 2 A, D, B and A. Here input, let's copy this one. We have to get 7 LE. The final one is RA, right? Let's check this one. So yeah, 7 LE RA. So we are getting this one in the, we have sorted this one, right? We are getting this one in the correct order. So we can get this one in any order. They have not mentioned that we have to get this one in this order itself, right? So we have just sorted so that we are getting the same thing in different order over here. So let's try whether this works or not. Just give me a second. I hope this works. So let me come here, click on submit code. So let me choose the problem B. Let me paste the code over here. Let me click on submit. So let's wait for some time. Let's see whether the order doesn't matter. Yeah, so here you can see this got accepted. So the order doesn't matter as we have made use of the sort, right? So this code works absolutely correct, except one thing that I had forgot here, this one, array, right? This, we need to display this one in the array. So I had forgotten this one. So we were getting the wrong output. Now the code works absolutely correct. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.